What's up, everyone? Nicholas here, and in this short video, I want to cover Unbounce's pricing, and I want to help you decide what is the best plan for you if you're considering purchasing Unbounce. Now, I will also cover real quickly what Unbounce is, but I'm not going to go into too much detail there because I have other videos that cover that. And if you're watching this video about Unbounce's pricing model, you probably are already familiar somewhat with what Unbounce is. I will also look at some of the other competitors to Unbounce, tools such as Instapage, Lead Pages, Landingi, and ClickFunnels, and show you how their pricing also compares to Unbounce so you can make the most informed decision. Now, Unbounce, real quickly, what it is, it's a landing page builder, but it's also a conversion optimization platform. So it started out as just a landing page builder back in 2009, but now it does a lot more than that. It lets you build, test, and optimize your landing pages so that you can turn more of your website visitors into leads and customers. And they also have a pop-ups and sticky bars product where you can have little pop-ups or bars at the top and bottom of your website. And what's really cool about that feature, which is relatively new, is that you can use those pop-ups and sticky bars on any page on your website. So even if you have a WordPress site, you could use the pop-ups and the sticky bars. So, Unbounce is a little bit more of a robust tool these days because it's not just for building landing pages. But I would say the landing pages is probably the main feature that most people are using. So let's look at their pricing. Now, as I mentioned, the pricing has recently changed. As of June of 2020, they did a complete overhaul of their pricing. And at first glance, it's a bit tricky to understand the pricing because they did something that nobody else in the industry is doing. They're actually charging based on the number of conversions you're getting. Now, if you're not familiar with the term conversions, the way they define it is every time a visitor completes a conversion goal on a landing page or in a pop-up or a sticky bar, it's a conversion. So common conversions include clicking on your call to action or completing a form. So let's say you have a button that is a click to call button for a phone number, right? You want people to call you or call your business. If someone clicks on that and that's tracked as a conversion in Unbounce, that's going to count towards your conversion goal. So, this is sort of a completely new approach to pricing this type of software. And really, none of their competitors are doing this conversion-based pricing. But their philosophy, Unbounce's philosophy, is that they want to grow when you grow. They want to help you succeed. And in doing so, by tying their pricing to your conversion goals, you're basically only paying for what you need. Now, they have 4 main plans. They have a launch plan, an optimize plan, accelerate plan, and a scale plan. And really, the main difference is the number of conversions that you get per month, the number of visitors, and how many domains you can connect to your Unbounce account. There are some other features that we'll get into in a minute, but those are the main differentiating factors in terms of the pricing. So if you're just starting out and you just need one domain, so you just have one company, everything's on one domain, you're not trying to resell Unbounce landing pages to clients or anything like that, the launch plan is very affordable. It's $80 a month. And I'm going to start by looking at everything on a monthly basis because with all of these plans, almost all of them, including all the competitors, you can usually save somewhat if you pay annually. I think all of these have annual discounts except for maybe ClickFunnels. So with Launch, it's $80 a month. And what you get are 500 conversions. Now that means that 500 times someone can fill out a form or click a button if it's being tracked as a conversion goal. And then if you exceed that limit, you're going to need to upgrade to one of the higher plans. You get 20,000 visitors, which is a very high traffic limit. I don't really think that the average Unbounce user is going to exceed that unless you're like a huge company with a lot of traffic or you're running a lot of paid advertising, and you get one domain. And then as you move up, you'll see with Optimize, you get 1,000 conversions, 300,000 monthly visitors, 3 connected domains, and then Accelerate, you get 2,000 conversions, 40,000 monthly visitors, and 7 connected domains. And then, of course, the high tier scale plan for $300 a month, you get 3,000 conversions, 50,000 visitors, and 15 connected domains. So if you're an agency and you're looking to use Unbounce for your agency clients, you're probably going to want to look at one of these 2 plans, the Accelerate or Scale, because you're going to need separate domains for those clients, right? And so a domain, you can have multiple pages on the same domain. So in all of these plans, the landing pages that you can build are unlimited. And that's another big change between the old pricing and the new pricing, because in the old pricing, they gave you a set number of landing pages and pop-ups and sticky bars that you could have. But in this case, now they're unlimited and they're just throttling the number of conversions and the number of visits and the number of domains. So I hope that makes sense. There are some other differences. So with the launch plan, it does not include the A/B testing functionality. So you can click on this button on the pricing and you can see that A/B testing, which is right here, is only included on Optimize, Accelerate, or Scale. So if you want to test your pages and run an A/B test, you're going to need to be on the Optimize plan at a minimum. Another feature that's a very popular but very new feature is called Smart Traffic. And basically what this is it uses machine learning, and it uses an algorithm to determine which variant of your landing page to send a visitor to. So it's more of an advanced feature. You would need to have multiple variants on your page. You would need to have a lot of traffic so that you can get some good results there. But if you want to use Smart Traffic, also you need to be on Optimize, Accelerate, or Scale because it's not available on launch. Same with dynamic text replacement and a few other features as well. But everything else, as you can see, is pretty much included on all of them. Of course, you want to check the Unbounce pricing page for the most current pricing because it may have changed in the time since I am putting this video up there. But that is the primary difference between it. They do say that the most recommended plan is the optimized plan. So that's a good all-around plan that's going to give you a high number of visits, a high number of conversions, and 3 connected domains. Now, if you want to save 10%, you can also pay annually. And so you'll see here that drops the pricing down 10%. So you can get started with launch at just $72 a month. But again, you're paying for the 12 months up front. So I do want to mention that we are Unbounce partners. And so we do have an opportunity for you to save even more on Unbounce if you use our partner link, which I'm going to put below this video. Or you could simply go to landingpageschool.com/unbounce, and that way you'll be able to save an additional 20% off your first 3 paid months or your first year, and you're also going to get the 14-day free trial. So it's just a really cool opportunity to get an additional discount on top of Unbounce. Now let's look at some of the competitors. So another, probably the number one competitor to Unbounce is Instapage. They have a very simple pricing model where it's $199 a month, or you can pay annually, and that drops down to $149 a month. And you can see here, they don't charge based on the number of conversions you get, and they have a whole bunch of stuff included. They don't really get into the specifics in terms of the traffic limits and that type of stuff, but if you look into their support articles, you'll see that I believe there's about 30,000 monthly visitors that you're allowed to have. There's no mention of how many domains you can have connected. And then they have some custom pricing if you need more than what's mentioned here. Then you have Lead Pages. Now, Lead Pages used to be a very similar competitor to Unbounce, but it seems like in recent years they've transitioned to more to a website builder rather than a landing page platform. So I don't know if they're a real true competitor at this point. But anyways, since they are very popular, I wanted to show the pricing. It starts at $37 a month and it goes up to $321 a month. But if you're looking feature for feature, I think you're much better off going with Unbounce, just from my personal opinion, having worked with all of these different platforms. Then you have Landingy, which is an up-and-coming tool, has a lot of features, very similar user interface to Unbounce, and they start at $39 a month if you pay monthly, and you can see what you're getting here are 5 domains, unlimited pages, 100,000 visitors a month, 5 account users. So some pretty high levels here. And again, they're not charging based on conversions. And then it goes all the way up to $79 a month, or you can save 25% on any of these plans by switching over to the annual billing cycle. And then last but not least, you have ClickFunnels. Now, ClickFunnels, it does a lot, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily just a landing page builder. It's more of a complete funnel management tool. My personal opinion on ClickFunnels is that it's a very popular tool, but you're not going to get the same ease of use or the same advanced A/B testing functionality with ClickFunnels as you would get with something like Unbounce. Unbounce is used by a lot of agencies. It's very easy to build, test, and optimize the pages, and the focus is really on building high converting landing pages. Now, if you're trying to collect payments and create these multi-step funnels with all this complexity and all this automation, and the design is not as important to you, then ClickFunnels might be a good option to look at. However, their pricing starts at $97 a month, and it goes all the way up to almost $2,500 a month with their new 2 Club X plan. So you can see all the different things here, but they don't really talk about landing pages per se. They talk about funnels. Funnels are really the focus. And really a funnel is just a collection of landing pages with some automation in between and some different steps in between. So there you have it. I hope this has been helpful in answering your questions regarding Unbounce pricing, and I hope you are able to make a more informed decision whatever tool you end up going with. And of course, if you do decide to go with Unbounce, I encourage you to get a free 14-day trial using our partner link below or going to landingpageschool.com/unbounce, and you'll also be able to save 20% off of your first 3 paid months or your first year if you decide to purchase through that exclusive partner link. So thanks again for watching the video, and have a great rest of your day.